Welcome back to Dodgy Bros. That was Osaka hitting my vape.
It didn't work.
It didn't. I have a very powerful vape. This is 18.
I got snot on my fucking thing. Youth entertainment.
This my vape. It's 18 milligrams per milliliter of caffeine, or something like that. It's almost the strongest you can legally get in the UK.
Absolute fucking madman.
You get used to it.
I don't.
This used to be Doddsmite's reaction, and they got used to it.
Yeah, because you're encouraging nicotine addiction.
Because it's great.
Oh boy.
Nicotine is a wonder drug. Everything you believe about heroin, I believe about nicotine.
It's because literally the same chemicals get elicited.
Right.
That's not true. There's like this bunk study that a schizophrenic friend of mine, like whenever he's saying like they're shooting up in the street, he always sends me this study. Oh, did you know that nicotine actually releases the exact same chemicals as heroin every time you smoke? That means it's just as addictive, is what he'll say.
I see.
Yeah.
You always used to say, heroin's easier to quit than nicotine is.
Have I said that?
You used to say it all the time.
It is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is nicotine doesn't even really affect me unless it's in the form of like gum, or unless I smoke like a pack of cigarettes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think gum is like the best, like honestly, I kind of get what that guy means, because when I get like a 8 milligram or like 10 milligram thing of like nicotine gum, put it under my lip, like, and I haven't had nicotine for a while, it does kind of feel like I just shot up. Like, it's like nuts. It's nuts.
It's great.
It's not great. I mean, the thing is, it also makes me feel really nauseous, like I just shot up.
Huh.
And I don't like that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's kind of boring. Like, both of them are just kind of boring. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the thing about nicotine is that it doesn't do much.
Yeah.
And that's why you can just be on nicotine 24/7 without it really impacting your life.
The thing is, when at first, like when you just start consuming nicotine, it's like a really good nootropic for focus and making like mundane tasks more manageable. But then it quickly becomes a matter of just sustaining the habit to feel normal. Like, it's almost in an instant it becomes like that, at least for me, and that's why, one of the reasons why I really don't like it.
If you're wondering why I'm jumping, by the way, it makes you go faster.
It's bee hopping.
It's bee hopping. Every game is CSGO. We've
Yeah.
established this.
Yeah. I don't know how XQC and the other one they play with, Digi, do this.
What?
What? Wait, the people who talk all the time over a video game, I don't know how they do this. We've just been shouting this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Digi probably didn't have any stimulants to do this.
Digi didn't have any stimulants.
No, I had 2 monsters, and I hit your vape just to be able to do this episode, and I'm like fucking burnt out.
You're like Judy Garland.
I'm like the 12 lost tribes of Judah.
You know Judy Garland, the girl from The Wizard of Oz?
No, yeah. They gave her amphetamine.
They gave her amphetamines. So
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
In the burning hot as well.
It's very fucked up.
And
maybe
then-
this is too dark to be talking about on Dodgy Bros.
Yeah, instead we should be talking about this invention. Okay, so there's this invention that Americans just don't know about. It's called foreskin.
All right. Well, I have topics, even if you don't. Okay. Which one? Pick one. Pick one. Which one looks interesting to you?
I don't know anything about the Nostalgia Critics, so you can talk about steroids.
Okay. So let me just run you through a story.
This is just Funhouse now.
This is Funhouse. Let me run you through a narrative. Okay, so you know all of this, right? But for the sake of the audience, for the sake of my narrative, I'm going to start from the beginning, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if I was a cisgender woman going through menopause, I could go to the GP, right? And I could get estrogen.
Uh-huh.
In fact, in the UK, very soon, I wouldn't even need to go to the GP. Like very soon they're going to pass a law that means you can just get it over the counter.
That's just in Scotland, right?
It's in the whole UK.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. if you're going through menopause. Easy, right? Easy, super easy.
Oh, I'll just fake it, sure.
If I was a man if I were a man, just for some strange reason, who was balding, unlike in real life, right? And I didn't want to be balding. That's the part that is actually unrealistic. I could get finasteride, which is basically a T blocker, just a really shitty one.
Yeah.
Again, from the GP. And balding, like menopause actually has symptoms.
Yeah.
Balding is just like an aesthetic thing. Like, it doesn't even mean anything. Going bald is just normal.
Yeah.
So, but even then, I could get it from the GP.
Yeah, it's like welcome to being a man. It sucks. Yeah.
Balding's cool. I propose that we need to make pro-balding adverts where we get balding and bald celebrities to go on the TV and talk about how great being bald is, and the tagline is something about how balding makes you a real man.
I feel like Agent 47 is like a salesman for being bald.
Patrick Stewart, he went bald at like 29.
Yeah.
Right, like, this is what I'm talking about. We need all these celebrities talking about how, like, in order to give men confidence, because going bald isn't a bad thing. Like, it's just perfectly natural.
Speaking of things that are perfectly natural, while you've been here, have you seen my patches of white hair that are in the back of my head? You kind of have to sift through my hair to be able to see them. But
I haven't been sifting through your hair, sorry.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet? What does that mean?
Who knows? I mean, people in our stream chats are always talking about us fucking.
No.
Yeah, no. I can't even entertain it for a joke. But like, yeah, if you sift through my hair, there's these big splotches of white hair, and every person I've ever slept with has commented on it, where they went, Lily, I don't want to alarm you, but there's a patch of white hair you have. And they always seem like really weirded out by bringing it up. And then I'm like, yeah, I know about that. I've had that for like almost my whole life. And then they're like, how? Is it stress? I'm sure that's a small component to it, but it's genetic. My great-grandfather, the Jewish one, he had a full head of white hair when he was 18.
Yo, that's sick.
Yeah, it's some people in my family just get white hair really young. And I remember being a kid and getting my first gray and white hairs. This is the other thing. Whenever hair grows on my chest, it's all white. All of it. Which is nuts. Yeah. Yeah, like, oh yeah, so like I remember being a kid and being like, oh, I hope that the same thing that happened to my great-granddad happens to me, where it just all turns white. Hasn't happened yet, probably won't. I've kind of given up on it by now, but that's another thing we need to be normalizing. We need to be pushing white hair like we're all in a early 2000s punk band, or a pop punk band.
I agree.
The Offspring guy, he had white hair for a lot of the performances.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I tried to have white hair, but it wouldn't go white. It would only go blonde.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was in 2015-ish.
That was before you were a real person.
Probably.
Yeah.
So anyway, if I was balding, I could get finasteride.
Yeah.
Now, let's say, hypothetically, I was a transgender.
Oh, boy.
Obviously not true.
Yeah.
It would be a whole process, okay? In order to get, like, hormones that I wanted, testosterone or estrogen, and the blockers that you need or whatever, I would have to go through the whole system. I would have to, like, well, you know how it is. You have to get diagnosed with gender disabilities. Whatever the fuck it's called.
I want some gender disability.
You have to get diagnosed with gender disabilities.
Yeah.
You have to, go through this whole process, be on a waiting list for like a year, at least in the UK. I don't know how it is in America, but...
you can just go to an informed consent clinic.
I mean, you can get it private in the UK too.
Yeah, but the difference is that if you're in a liberal city, usually the informed consent clinic will pay for it for you. Because they have corporations that donate to the clinic.
Well, so you can get the hormones you want. Sometimes it takes a long time, a lot of hassle, but you can get them. Why can't I waltz into the GP and say, give me testosterone so my muscles get bigger? That's my goddamn question.
Uh,
If it's so easy for all of these other people, for aesthetic reasons, like balding or changing your gender, which is not entirely an aesthetic reason, but aesthetics are part of it, right?
heart
like-
attacks.
Heart attacks? Then why is anyone else allowed to do it?
Well, because estrogen.
Not estrogen, testosterone.
No. What I'm saying is like estrogen. What you're talking about over-the-counter estrogen
I'm
as a
talking about
comparison.
and
As a
trans
comparison, yeah, with trans people.
No, I'm talking about trans men being able to get testosterone as well.
Well, I mean, there are. Testosterone is a scheduled substance in my country. I don't know what
It is.
here.
It is. No, it's not. It's not. I think.
So it's not here.
I actually forget. I know that like the estrogen and T blockers aren't scheduled here.
Well, yeah, estrogen isn't scheduled in America, but testosterone is.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is scheduled here as well.
Yeah. Well, you have these classes. It's a little different, but yeah, like so trans men, they can go to the same kind of clinic that I can go to and basically get it for free. It's just there's a little bit more paperwork and bureaucracy involved because it's a scheduled drug. As far as I know, that's what the process looks like.
But why is it a scheduled drug?
Because lots of people who are athletes or people who are going bald and complaining like you.
I'm not going. I love going bald. I think it looks good.
Well,
I've always idolized.
Hypothetical you is complaining.
I've always idolized Patrick Stewart from Star Trek: The Next Generation ever since I was a kid, and that's why I'm not scared of going bald.
I've idolized him as well.
I don't know why I'm not making this jump.
You haven't been making any jumps.
That's not true. I'm beating the game.
Yeah, sure.
Slowly but surely.
Slow and spacey wins the race.
Sure.
But yeah, like testosterone is just a far more dangerous and abusable substance than estrogen.
But you would
or
never make this
testosterone.
argument for like heroin.
No, I think it should be totally legal. Like, I agree with your take. I just think you're arguing for it. You're going about the arguments wrong.
Well, my argument was kind of a meme phrasing.
I see.
But the legs on which my argument stands are legs made up of bodily autonomy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, people can go to hell in a handbasket if they choose to, but like,
That's not what I'm saying.
well, that's what I'm saying.
The thing is, with testosterone, is it's not... I mean, actually, testosterone is probably a bad one. But let's say HGH, right?
Yeah.
HGH is dangerous if misused, but it's also perfectly safe if you're monitored by a doctor, and every professional athlete uses it. Same with testosterone. Like, it's dangerous if you're injecting an unknown amount of an unknown substance, but if you have a what are they called? Endocrinologist,
Yeah.
who's measuring your hormone levels and changing your dosages appropriately and taking a reasonable dose, not a bodybuilder dose, but just a getting slightly stronger dose,
Yeah.
then it's perfect. Like, it's 100% safe.
Well, why can't I inject MSG though?
I mean, you probably could. I mean, it probably wouldn't be a good idea, but you could if you wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, like, if what you're saying is like people should have some kind of free endocrinologist that should give them recreational testosterone, I just don't know about that.
I think it would but I think you're not counting. You're just saying it as if it's like they just get testosterone. It's not a big deal, but. By the same logic that you can support trans people, you have to support this. If you think that trans people should have free and easy access to hormones, why? Because their body doesn't fit their mind's perception of how it should be, and in particular with regards to gender, right? Why is it any different if you're an emasculated, effeminate male who wants to be ripped or taller or anything like that? It's the same thing.
Because it simply doesn't work that way. For one, you can...
Not that I'm an emasculated, effeminate male.
Yeah.
I'm far from ripped.
Yeah, this can be the big, long episode. But yeah, like, the emasculated, effeminate male can produce more testosterone in their body simply by doing weight training. There are existing workout routines and diets that they can get on, it's going to require way the fuck more effort because they're small and their metabolism
This is about. I
different.
disagree.
Wait. I've seen Karesu do it. He has like an even worse metabolism than mine for being skinny. Like, he's done it, you know, he's gotten ripped as like a tiny femboy. So it can be done. And he didn't use any kind of drugs to enhance the process besides creatine. Yeah.
Right here, baby.
Which is just in meat.
That's true.
But yeah, like...
I actually speedran this race for a little bit.
Oh, nice. But yeah, like... So, the hormones... it's basically like you're basically what's the word, like you're cheating, like you're cheating with disproportionately bad outcomes.
Why does it matter
that you're gonna get?
That's not
you're gonna go bald. Your balls are gonna shrink.
No,
like you're
not
gonna
if
have
you
heart problems.
No,
like,
this is all propaganda.
No, if
this is the weird thing about you is that like. You're so willing to believe that like all of the stuff people say about crack or meth or heroin is propaganda, but as soon as it comes to steroids, suddenly you believe everything. The same way, you know, if you are like you know, that guy who went blind, Charles Innes, and you eat like a ridiculous amount of PCP, then you might go nuts. But most people who do PCP don't experience. It's the same thing. If you take steroids appropriately in reasonable dosages, then no, none of that stuff happens. Like,
well, think about it like this, right? There's quite a difference between fentanyl and like tramadol, right? Like, well, actually, tramadol is pretty easy to OD on also. Hydrocodone, right? Like, you know, one of them, a lot harder to OD on. They're both acting on the opioid receptors. They can both get you high. But one of them you should be way the fuck more careful with, and probably should not be in the hands of the general public, at least easily. Like, there should be, you know, guardrails, regulations on it to make it, you know, much harder to get, and only really in the hands of the people who are going to be responsible with it. I think, like, testosterone is like the fentanyl of hormones. You can say, oh, just dose properly, take these precautions, you know, do cardio every morning to like counteract the side effects on your heart, and you know,
it shouldn't have any side effects on your heart if you're dosing correctly.
It does. I mean, I've done the research on this. So is Dotesmite.
Well, this is because you're doing the research on transgender people.
No, not just on transgender people, on like regular people.
Well, you're implying that being trans isn't normal?
We're not normal, no. We fucking, like, we want to fuck Blahaj. We're not normal.
Interesting. Thanks for watching.